Hello beautiful souls and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading all about a message from your future self. I also have to apologize in advance because there's some construction going on in my neighborhood, so if you do hear all sorts of things, it is what it is. We're going with it and we're still filming regardless. So here we are. We're going to connect with the energies of your future self today and look into some messages that they have for you, some guidance that they want to give you right now. So anytime that you are drawn to this video, you can come here and get a message from your future self. If you are new to these videos, I'm going to give you a quick little explanation about how it works. So over here we have pile number 1, pile 2, 3, and 4. So you can take a moment, pause the video if you need to in order to find the pile that you're the most drawn towards. And then once you're done choosing, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box so that you can skip right ahead to your personal reading, all about that message from your future self. And if you like to choose with crystals below the cards, then we're going to add some crystals below these cards. Right? Meow. All right, my loves, so here are our cards with the crystals. So over on group number 1, we have some opalite. Group number 2 is some citrine. Group number 3 is actually a shell. And then group number 4 is some carnelian. So again, you can take a moment, pause the video if you would like in order to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box so that you can skip right ahead to your personal prediction all about that message from your future self. So with that being said, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into today's video. All right, so group number 1, if you chose this pile, this is gonna be a reading, so let's dive right in. Okay, group number 1, what a fun reading we have right off the bat. So the message from your future self, we have the Ace of Water being reversed, Emperor upright, 5 of Fire being reversed, and then the Page of Air upright. So the first kind of message that I'm getting from your future self has a message of like, it is time to step up and be confident, to be confident in your decisions, to be confident in where you're going without questioning it or second guessing it or moving against yourself. Because right now your future self is like, okay, if you want to move forward and create your dreams or to move forward on something, this is going to require believing in yourself and being your own biggest advocate here, being your own biggest advocate and not second guessing yourself and psyching yourself out. There's this energy in this group of psyching yourself out with this 5 of Fire being reversed. This is kind of energies that are working against us. And this also could be psyching yourself out because of other people. There could be other people in your life that are kind of maybe giving you worst case scenario ideas, or maybe they're against what you want to do with your life, or maybe they have their own opinions, or maybe they just don't believe in themselves enough, therefore they don't believe in your dreams either, right? And so sometimes when we're talking to other people about things that we really want to do, sometimes we can feel down about it because maybe they don't feel the same excitement that we do. Maybe they're not on the same page. Maybe it's not something that they would ever do with their lives, right? And so sometimes it can give us an energy that holds us back. Or sometimes we can like overthink things, get way too in our head, and sometimes it can cause us to lose touch with our intuition and with our feelings. And so when the Ace of Water is reversed here, it can indicate that we're draining our own energy by having like these conflicting thoughts. So we might get really excited about something where we have this new idea and it feels so exciting in our heart and our soul, and then we start to kind of overthink it, and then we get down on it, and then all of a sudden our confidence goes away. And your future self right now is like, hey, it's time to cut that out, because right now you're holding yourself back from so much greatness. And your future self, the fact that we have the Emperor even coming up here, says that you have the ability to achieve greater things than you even realize. Because the Emperor, he's the top of the throne, like he's the top of the hierarchy, right? And so if you're feeling right now that you're at the bottom and you have this dream that's on the top of this mountain, your future self right now is saying like, there's a throne waiting for you at the top of that mountain. But the only way to get there is to stop psyching yourself out and to believe in yourself. once you get to the point of really believing in yourself and also breaking away from like other people's opinions or breaking away from all of these other like what if kind of thoughts, it's gonna help you climb that mountain greater than you've ever realized before, greater than you've ever like achieved before or anything like that. Like it's gonna take you to higher heights, okay? And that's something that you deserve because your higher self can see, or your future self, I should say, can see your potential. And your future self sees that you have the potential to sit on that throne that's way up on that hill, way up on that mountain that you're wanting to get to, right? But this is about how you think and how you speak to yourself and the direction that you allow your thoughts to go. If we allow our thoughts to constantly go against us, it's not a good thing. It is good, however, to be aware of what could go wrong so that we can, handle ourselves in those scenarios. Like it's not good to just be totally naive and think that only good things can happen, right? Of course, there's like bad things that can happen, but when we overthink the bad things to the point where we psych ourselves out and we hold ourselves back, that's unproductive. There's nothing productive about overthinking. Right? It's okay to be prepared. It's okay to be like, there could be challenges along the way. There could be this. But if we have the mindset that's always moving forward, if we have the mindset that's like, hey, I believe in myself and I know that no matter what comes my way, no matter what challenges I face, all of that, I am going to, work my way through them. I'm going to find a way through it. There's, of course, forces outside of our control. And a lot of the times when we overthink about things that are outside of our control. Because if it was in our control, we wouldn't need to overthink it. We'd just be like, oh, I can just easily fix that. But we tend to overthink things that are outside of our control. We tend to overthink actions of other people, thoughts of other people, because we can't control that, right? But what's the point of overthinking it if we can't control it anyway, right? Like, what's the point? It's just going to be the way it is anyway, and we can navigate it once we get there. So, there's a message from your future self to not overthink and to also begin to see your own confidence. I really think that you're entering a part of your life where you're being called to step up. You're being called to become the leader of your life. You're being called up to no longer be a follower. Like, let's not follow in anybody else's footsteps. Let's not follow a path that everyone else seems to go down. Let's make our own unique path, right? That's what's coming up for you. Your future self is like, it's time for you to just lead your own life, not wait to seek advice from other people, not wait to seek guidance from others. Like, this is time for you to just lead your own life and to build up that confidence, because my goodness, do you ever have the ability to get there? But it's all about you believing in yourself and letting go of those overthinking sort of patterns. And anytime you catch yourself overthinking, I feel like it's a natural thing. Everyone does this once in a while. But as you catch yourself overthinking, just say, hey, you know what? Like, I realize that the things that I overthink about are things that are outside of my control. And no matter how much I think about it, it's not going to change anything. So how about, instead of overthinking it, how about I get the rest and relaxation that I need and think about all the positive things that people do and how they overcome anything that comes their way, and the fact that I can do that too. I can overcome anything that comes my way. I got this. Let me do this, right? Like, let's say you're opening up a business. I just feel like giving you an example right now. Let's say that you're opening up a business and you're overthinking things about, what if it fails? What if it does this? What if it does that? Like, what if people judge me for opening up a business? What if people have weird thoughts and they think about me failing and they're like, who is she to think that, she can open up her own business or whatever? So we tend to overthink about these things, but the thing is we can't control some of those things. And even if, let's say we open up our own business and let's say it's not doing very well, that's okay. Every business goes through ups and downs. And usually when we start a business, it's kind of hard to get it off the ground at first, but if we just keep moving forward and we keep having that belief in ourselves and we keep saying, you know what, I'm going to navigate anything that comes my way. I'm going to navigate any weather that I have to get through. Then you're going to find ways to get through it. And that is how you get to any dream or goal, right? There's no dream or goal that doesn't come with some form of challenge or obstacle that we have to get through. And your future self is just saying, hey, move forward. You got this. You got this. And let's look at where our thoughts are going. Put them into productive places, because then you won't be wasting your energy and it won't be getting drained out from you. So the next cards that we have the card of loosen your grip. So coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. Oh, I love that card coming up. Let God in, loosen your grip. Sometimes we're so attached to a specific outcome, but it's usually like we can't really control all the outcomes we get. However, we can choose how we react to those outcomes, and that's how we can navigate ourselves to get to the destination that we want. You know, we might be moving forward, right? And we can't always control every single outcome that comes our way, but we control how we react and navigate to those outcomes so that we can continue to sift through to get exactly where we want to go. So loosen your grip on needing to control other people's thoughts and opinions. We'll never be able to control that, right? We won't be able to get everyone on the same page. Like I know for me, when I started my YouTube channel, there was people that totally supported it, that were like, oh, that's amazing that you did that. And then there's also some people in my life who directly told me like, what are you doing? That is really dumb. You don't have what it takes. Like I had people directly tell me that. And you know, at the same time, it did hurt to hear that. But in my mind, I was like, you know, I can't control what they think, and I'm just going to keep doing it because I want to. And maybe one day I'll prove them wrong. Maybe. We'll see. And I just kept going in that direction, and here we are, right? So loosen your grip. You don't need to get everyone on the same page. You don't need to get everyone to like you. I feel like some of you have this tendency to fear what other people think, because usually when the Five of Fire comes reversed, it's kind of like this endless battle of trying so hard to make sure that everyone is on the same page as you, that is feeling the same excitement as you, and that's, you know, supporting. But we can't control all of that, you know? It's an endless battle, and there's no point in fighting it. Everyone is going to be on their own page, and we shouldn't try to convince them of anything else, because it's the same as them trying to convince us that we shouldn't go in a certain direction. If we're trying to convince them like, no, you need to support this before I can feel comfortable doing it. Everyone needs to like what I'm doing. Everyone needs to be on the same page with the same amount of excitement. Like that's almost the same energy that they're throwing over, being like, no, don't do it, you know? So loosen your grip. It doesn't matter what other people think or say. It matters what you think, and it matters what you say to yourself, right? That's what matters. So coping mechanisms, it's time to learn a new way to cope with the outcomes that we have and the realities of what we're currently in. There needs to be new coping mechanisms, right? So instead of wanting to shut off your emotions, let's dive into the emotions and figure out a way so that we can redirect them into a positive place that like uplifts us, right? And so also the fact that addiction comes up, if there is any sort of addictions that we're dealing with right now, like maybe we're having certain cravings, like, oh, I'm craving eating really bad food tonight or whatever because I'm feeling some type of way and I just need to relax. Like that's not a good way of like coping with negative emotions, you know? It's time to learn like good things, such as like, I'm gonna go do a really good workout for my body to get the steam off, right? Like that's a little bit better, you know what I mean? So, and also let God in. Your future self wants you to know that at any moment in time, you can ask God or the universe to help you. At any moment in time, let God in, let the universe in, whatever it is that you believe in, whatever higher power you believe in, let that beautiful higher power energy, that higher level of consciousness in, and ask like, hey, please guide me. I'm open to your guidance. God, I'm open to your guidance. Please help me with this. The universe, I'm open to your guidance. Please help me with this. And allow it and trust it. The biggest thing about working with God or working with the universe is you have to trust it, because it's not always the most apparent, you know, energy. It's not always right there. We don't always see God or see the universe or feel God or the universe. We're not always seeing or feeling it, but we have to trust that it's there. And we have to trust that when we ask, it will provide. The universe will provide. God will provide. And so when we put that intention out there and when we ask for guidance and help, we have to trust that that is coming through and that we're going to get that. Okay, we also have we the Hathors. Ooh, this reminded me of Egypt. I actually went to this temple, so this is really cool seeing it on this card. Anyway, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Ooh. Some of you, this is a random side message, but some of you might be scared of like giving birth one day, but maybe you really want kids. I feel like what's coming through right now is like this nurturing energy of let's nurture yourself. And even if that's not a thing for you, but if it is, I feel like your future self is saying everything's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. Thousands, millions of women have done it before. You're going to be good. But that might be irrelevant for most of you listening to this. However, in this card as well, this is about birthing your new idea to life and nurturing it. When you nurture a new idea, it will blossom, but you have to nurture it. And you can't, like, when you first have a baby, for example, you don't know how they're going to grow up. You don't know, exactly what the end result is going to be, but you nurture it along the way. You take steps along the way. So when it comes to you birthing a new idea to life and being that leader, we have to nurture it and think about, okay, if something's ever going wrong, if my baby's crying, if my dream is not happening the way I want it to, and if there's negative outcomes happening, we learn how to nurture it to bring it back into balance. So this is about not fearing those imbalances, not fearing those challenges. Anytime those challenges come up, use that nurturing energy that you have and be like, okay, how can I nurture this back into balance? My business is crying out for me right now. How can I nurture it back into balance? Or, my partner is, having a rough time. How can I nurture them back into balance? It's like, it's that nurturing energy that your future self wants you to embody more of and to realize that you're in control of how you react. And those reactions bring you to the top of your mountain, to the top of your throne, which again, you're more capable of achieving more than you realize. That's a big message coming through. And then we have Ascension. Okay, I love that this card is coming up. Ascension. This is time for you to fly. This is time for you to spread your wings. Your future self is saying that it's time for you to spread your wings. It's time to take off. No longer holding ourselves back with any overthinking thoughts. It is time to up level and it's time to ascend. And then we also have the card of reflect. Reflect. Learn from the past, And I'm also hearing beginning to love who you are, beginning to love who you see in the mirror, and ascend, nurture who you see in the mirror. Honestly, I highly recommend for those of you watching this, grab a mirror when you can, look deep into your own eyes, see who's there, and begin to love who you are. Who you are is a beautiful soul, okay? And that soul deserves to be loved, okay? And we also have, the next two cards. We have the Judge and we have the Lover. The Judge. This card particularly talks about being afraid of judgments of others. And it also can talk about being our own worst critic, And it's time to step out of our own way. Judgment holds us back and judgment pulls us down. When we're judging other things, when we're judging ourselves, when we fear judgment of others, that's a thing that really pulls us down. It is such a weight. And so what I'm hearing is to ascend beyond judgment, to reflect on all of your good qualities, right? We all have a mix of things that could improve, and we all have a mix of things that we should be so dang proud of, but we don't think about those things very often because we're already used to all the things that we are, right? We're already used to all of that. So sometimes we take ourselves for granted, Everyone talks about taking other things for granted, but the biggest thing that we sometimes take for granted is ourselves. Look at all your amazing qualities, okay? Write down a list and start to reflect on all of those amazing things and begin to love yourself. I really think that your future self is you're on a self-love journey right now. And as you go on that self-love journey and as you overcome these fears of judgments and as you overcome your own self-judgments, oh my goodness, are you ever going to ascend and be free? Like, I see you overcoming negative thoughts. I see you overcoming a more negative cycle. I see you rising above the clouds. If you feel as if your life has been sort of a rain on your parade lately and it's been sort of a bit stormy, a bit cloudy, a bit unclear, it's because of all those clouded thoughts, those clouded feelings that have been sort of in the way of seeing that clarity, seeing that sun, feeling the sun of your life, like feeling that brightness on your life. If you've been feeling that, this comes through letting go of that judgment, starting to welcome in that love, and oh my goodness, are you ever going to rise above those clouds, back into those clear skies where the sun is shining so bright, you're feeling so high, and it's so clear of where you're supposed to go. And when you're outside of those clouds too, it's so much easier to see your target goal. And I also feel like this is ascending up that mountain, you know, of where you want to get to. And it might be unclear right now because there's a bunch of clouds blocking your view of that path. But as you just begin to love yourself, it clears those clouds, those judging thoughts, the fears of what other people think and what other people might say and all that. It erases that. It allows those clouds to lift, and then you can ascend so much further, so much faster, because you're not being weighed down by all of that other stuff. So, whew. Amazing reading so far. Let's get into the next deck of cards that we're going to shuffle here. This has been a lot so far, so thanks for sticking around if you're still with me here. So we also have Mercury retrograde reinvention. It's so crazy because as I film this card reading, it's actually Mercury retrograde right now, and it would be really funny that if when you're listening to this, it is a Mercury retrograde or you're near one or something like that. Could just be an odd coincidence. But Mercury retrograde reinvention. This is time to reinvent the wheel, reinvent yourself, reinvent your life, reinvent how you react to things, reinvent your way of thinking, reinvent the self. Like, I feel like your future self's telling you that you're going through a really significant time of reinvention, and it's going to allow you to ascend so high. It's going to allow you to ascend so high. And Mercury directly deals with your way of thinking, your thoughts, and you may also reinvent your path that you're on in some way. So you could have like a reinvention of what path you're going on. There could also be a reinvention of who you are around the most, or how you speak to other people, what you tell other people, and all of that, and your reactions to them. Like, I feel like you're changing the way that you communicate as well, internally and externally. And I feel like that's also going to be something that creates different reactions between you and other people, because other people tend to be a reflection of ourselves. If we're so scared of the judgments of others, even the smallest little nuance that someone might say might dig really deep for us, because we already feel a harsh judgment towards ourselves, right? So it triggers us even deeper. So what I feel that you're going through is like a time of healing the way that you view yourself, healing your relationships, and just reinventing yourself to go on a whole new journey. We also have Virgo. I analyze. Virgo's also deeply about healing energies. I also feel like this is a planning time. You're going to be planning new things and going through a time of healing with that Virgo energy. I feel like your schedule is also changing. This can indicate a change in your schedule. Like, you might all of a sudden be inspired to write down, like, I'm going to wake up at this time and I'm going to work out, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. Like, I feel like you're planning different changes in your life, and it might create changes in your schedule. And we also have Libra, I balance. So coming back into balance with your life, what you want to do, balance of the mind, balance of the soul, all the good things, and taking charge of your life, being the leader of your life. Like, you're seriously being called to a leadership position. That is what you are being called to, a leadership position. And your future self says that it's time to take the reins of your life into your own hands. That is what you are meant to step into right now. Only you can judge yourself, but at the same time, we should judge ourselves in a way that uplifts us, right? In a way that, you know, we're looking at ourselves and we're like, you know what? I judge that I'm a great character. I judge that I'm a great person, that I am worthy of these things, because look at everything that I've created thus far in my life. Like, you are so worthy, okay? Let me just tell you that right now, group one. You are so worthy. All right, so that is what we have here for you today. Group number one, thank you so much for joining me here today for this video. That was a message from your future self. It's all about taking that leadership, knowing that you have what it takes, all the good things. So I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here, and I will see you next time. Bye. All right, so group number two, if you chose this pile, this is gonna be your message from your future self. So let's hop right into it. All right, so group number two, my beautiful citrine pile. We have the Lovers as the first card, which this one just says love on it. We also have the Page of Water. We have the King of Earth being reversed, and then the Ten of Fire being reversed. One of the first things that I'm hearing from your future self is like, things are gonna get easier. And I feel like you might be in a phase of your life right now where there's just so much going on. Maybe there's so many responsibilities, so many things that we need to catch up with, and so many fires that we need to put out, you know, and it almost feels like it could be a little bit overwhelming at times. And your future self is saying things are going to balance out, things are going to get better, and they're coming through with like different advice for you to like get through this time. And one of them being is to find out what is the most like important thing for you, or what are like, list off the most important things that you need to do or get done. And maybe you've already done stuff like that, but your future self is saying that that's going to be something that really helps you. And they're saying that it's okay to ask for help. It is okay to ask for help when there's so much going on, or it's okay to ask like, hey, maybe I can get back to you on this, or maybe I can take a rain check on this. Maybe I can put this thing, you know, off for another time because there's just so much going on right now. But basically it just seems like there's a lot happening in your life right now, to the point where it might be overwhelming and we might be sort of scattered a little bit because of all of that, but things will come back into balance. The fact that we have the Lovers card coming up says that things are going to come back into balance, and it is also a card that talks about asking for help in some way. Like, what are some tasks that maybe we can delegate? What are some tasks that maybe we can ask for help with, or all of that. And I see that happening for you. And I'm also seeing somebody important in your life. Someone important. This could be a person that you already know, or this could be a new person. Like, I'm feeling possibly a friend energy. This could also be a lover, or somebody that maybe you're going to go into business with, or somebody that's on the same maybe path as you that can help out in some way. There's something with some other person here that I'm picking up on. Maybe somebody that even wants to help you. Maybe somebody that's like extending this helping hand, that's like, hey, you know, let me help you with that. Let me help you figure this out. And I'm seeing that this is going to help free up your energy, and your future self is also just wanting you to know that things are going to balance out very soon. And this is actually going to bring you so much strength within yourself. Like, this whole situation is going to bring you so much strength. You know what's interesting as well? Like, this love card reminds me a lot of the strength card in tarot, especially because we have the Leo sign right here, and a bit of that fire energy in this card. The Lovers is the sixth one of the major arcana, and we do have 6, and it does say love, but at the same time, this one's so similar to the strength card. So your future self is also saying, you have the strength to get through this. You're gonna get through this just fine. And so even if all that you do is just let go of worry right now, that's gonna be worth so much to you. That's gonna be worth so much, is just to let go of the pressure. Let some of the steam off. And you know, the water right next to this fire energy really is all about that steam, like letting off some steam. Let the steam go. And you know what's interesting is, like, I have a lot of things going on in my life, and there's a lot of times that I've actually been in this particular situation where it just seems like there's so much going on to the point that it can feel really overwhelming. Like I'm taking online courses while I'm running like 2 different businesses, and while I also travel and see family, like my family lives in another country, and just all these different things. And sometimes I feel really overwhelmed with how many things there are to do. And I've come to a point in my life where I've oddly realized that even through the most overwhelming times, if you can somehow bring your emotions to a place of like fun, to a place of excitement, and you go through all of these tasks with passion, with fun, with excitement, it just relieves so much of that pressure. It relieves so much of that steam. And if you just have this positive, like funny sort of outlook, like sometimes I laugh at how much I have to do and I'm like, you know what? This is actually great because this is so much better than being bored. And so I'll look at all these things and I'll be like, okay, let's get rid of all of the things that maybe are kind of annoying, like paying bills. Like I don't really enjoy doing that, but maybe I can make myself a nice cup of tea, pay some bills while I light a candle and just play some nice music in the background. And then I get into my more fun things like filming these videos and like all this other stuff. So when we can find a way to bring our emotions to a really positive place and we can just have fun with it, it really helps out rather than adding on that extra weight or that extra pressure. Because when we look at our life from a perspective of like, oh my God, this is really overwhelming, it's gonna feel really heavy to work through all of those tasks that we have. And it's gonna feel like heaviness, and it's more difficult to move through those tasks. But when we can look at it from like a fun perspective of like, all right, I have to do these things. How can I make it enjoyable? How can I move through that? It's going to become so much more positive. So sometimes we have to let go of the weight, which is I think why King of Earth is reversed there. We have to let go of feeling the weight on us. I'm also hearing that if some of you guys have back pain lately, back pain esoterically, in mysticism is related to feeling like the weight of the world is on your back, feeling like you're carrying way too much weight. That's kind of the esoteric meaning of back pain or back problems. So if you've been feeling any of that lately, like your shoulders have been hurting, your neck, your middle back, your lower back, whatever, it's about changing that weight around. Instead, feel so supported by the earth. A little tiny meditation that I like to do is to relax into the earth, and I feel myself grounding into the earth, and I feel like, hey, Mother Earth has got my back. All of my problems, all these things that I'm feeling that are a weight, they're just a weight if I choose to see them that way, as that perspective, right? Because it's a perspective-based thing. You can have so much going on, but view it from such a place of excitement that all of a sudden those things don't feel like a weight anymore. So it's perspective-based. So instead of feeling like the world is on you, realize that you're on the world. You are literally on top of the world. As you watch this video, you are on top of the world. The world is not on you. So when you just flip that perspective, the world is supporting you, okay? So anyway, that is a little message there. Let's get into the next few cards that we have. Your future self is also letting you know that a break is coming, but it's about you also realizing that you deserve a break. Let's not say yes to every single thing that comes our way. We can say no. And I'm hearing massively that your future self is telling you to say no to certain things. Say no. And also to begin to say yes to more things that are a bit more uplifting to you and allow you that time to let off that steam, right? Oh, we also have this card, trust the timing, trust the wave you came in on. Time, I'm gonna lift this card up to the camera. This is so fitting. Look at this. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. You might be like feeling like you need to catch up. You might be feeling like you're behind in life in some way. Like maybe there's this energy of feeling like I'm behind. I need to like say yes to all these things. I need to get all these things done and I need to get it done now. It needed to be done yesterday, you know, all those types of feelings. We get that feeling when we have that fire under our butt because we feel like we're behind. We feel like time is running out. Your future self is saying, hey, you are not behind in life. Time is not running out. Trust in the timing. You're never behind, ever. You are never behind. You would be surprised. Like, some people get their big break in life at like a certain time, but it's all in divine timing for you, for your path. Trust in yourself, trust in your path, and trust in your own timing. You do not need to overwhelm yourself. You know, there's actually a famous, I forgot the name of the woman who did this experiment, but she went around to people that were on their deathbeds, basically, and she asked them, you know, what's the biggest thing that you regret in your life? What's one thing that you would change? And one of the most common things, like one of the top 10 things that people would always say is, why did I work so much? I wish I didn't work so much, and I wish I just let off my own steam and enjoyed life more. Like, gave myself time to just enjoy life, saying no to the things I didn't want to do, freeing up my time and just living my life for me and not feeling like I needed to be somewhere or be somebody. You know, because I think the most amazing thing about life is just being able to enjoy it in the present moment. You know, we don't need to be somebody or be something, and we can still have these dreams and aspirations. But when they become something that's just so much that it's overwhelming us, like, that's not, you know, it's not the best way to be. So trust the timing, trust the timing, trust the wave you came in on. You're riding your own wave. Don't compare yourself to other people. If you have a tendency, the fact that the Lovers came up actually, if you have a tendency to compare yourself to others and feel behind because you're comparing yourself to all these other people, you're riding a completely different wave, okay? And that wave might be gaining its momentum, you know, as you get closer to shore. So even if you're further away from shore right now and you're surfing this wave and you're wondering like, how come all those other people ahead of me are surfing a way bigger wave? By the time, you know how like waves, they kind of get bigger closer to shore. So if you're surfing a wave that's like way back here and you're comparing yourself to the people that are near the shore that are surfing these huge waves, and you're like, my wave isn't curling yet, and it doesn't, you know, I'm not surfing it right now. It doesn't feel as exciting. Stop comparing yourself. Your wave, once you get closer to shore, might be way bigger than all of theirs. Trust the timing. Trust where you are right now. Trust the wave you came in on. Your wave is your own unique story, and it does not need to be compared to anybody else's at all. Learn your own wave. Be in your own energy. Be in your own timing, and trust your own timing. You know, be the leader of your own story without comparing yourselves to other people's stories, because then you're not developing your own. Whenever you're comparing yourself to other people and feeling down about it, you are not developing your own story. You're working against your story. You're putting momentum against you. So let's focus in our own bubble. We can be inspired by others. That's actually a great way to change things around, is to be inspired by other people and allow other people's stories to inspire us. And be like, oh, look at how they rode that wave. That is so freaking cool. Oh my God, once I get to shore, I'm gonna do that. That was so cool. And then you're like looking at another person, you're like, oh, that was cool too. Maybe I can do a combination of both of those things. That is extra cool. Let me do that, and let me make my own unique wave by taking inspiration from all these other things rather than comparing myself. Okay, so that's a huge thing. We also have double mission coming up. Lightworker starseed, serve the world. Look what this says. Serve the world by being you. Serve the world by being you. You might be on this double mission right now where you're like trying to keep up with the Joneses, but then also trying to live your life, but then it just creates all this overwhelmingness. You're your own unique energy, my love. You are your own unique energy. Time is not running out. You are totally good. Okay? Everything's good. It's good in the hood. Lightworker starseed, you came here with your own unique mission. Trust that. Trust that. Okay? Serve the world by being you. What a message, right? We also have the card, the Alchemist, coming up. So this is time to take what you've learned so far and how can we alchemize it into something that's good, right? How can we turn it into something that uplifts us? For example, just like the example that I gave earlier about instead of comparing yourself to other people and feeling negative about it, flip it and be like, oh shit, that person's doing something that, you know, I think would be so cool if I could do that. I'm going to allow that to be an inspiration of what's possible for me. If they can do it, I can do it. And look what this person is doing, and look what that person is doing. Grab all those little pieces of inspiration. We don't need to follow in anybody's footsteps. No, because you're your own unique person. However, you can grab bits of inspiration from all these different people, all these different places, and you can alchemize that. The alchemy is the transmutation, the shift of something. So any of these negative thoughts, use them and go through a metamorphosis and ask, how can this actually uplift me rather than tear me down? And instead of being overwhelmed by the world, instead of being overwhelmed by all these things, how can I flip that so I can be uplifted by all these things and realize how much I got going for me right now? Like if you're in school right now and you're working a job while you're also studying and also doing this and also doing that, like whatever it is that's going on in your life, like how can you realize that all of those things are such a freaking blessing? And how can you flip that to look at that and be like, look at how many things have gone right for me, right? Like, look at all these amazing things. I know so many people that wanted to be parents so bad and could not wait for the moment that they had kids. And then when they had kids, they're like, oh my God, it's so overwhelming. It is so difficult, which compassion for that, because yes, that is a lot of work. However, I'm like, I always sit in that seat where I'm like, remember when you wanted that so bad? You're literally living your dream. You're living your dream right now. So when you can flip it, when you can alchemize that energy to work for you again and be that driving force of realizing, oh, hey, I'm living my dream right now. And you're on the way to even bigger dreams too. Let's flip that story around. And let's see that you're literally living your dream right now and you're on your way to bigger dreams. And right when you flip that story to support you rather than weigh on you, that'll be the moment that things begin gushing forward, right? Okay, so we also have share wisdom. I feel like this is time to trust in all that you know. Time to trust in yourself. Like you are a smart, wise person. You are a smart, wise person. I'm also hearing that sharing tasks, like delegating tasks that you don't need or saying no to certain things, that's all going to be very important and part of this journey for you. That's going to be part of this journey. Okay, let's see all the other cards that we have here. So we have the Apocalypsis card. Ooh. We also have the Father card, and we also have the Shapeshifter card. I feel like this is a message from your future self. Like you can shape your own destiny, but what are things that we can say no to? How can we go on our own story and say no to things that are no longer serving us? Like allow things to be let go of. Allow things to be removed from your life. Things that no longer serve you, whether that be thinking patterns, different things that you're doing. It's time to shapeshift your life into something that's so positive and so amazing and so inspiring to you, and realizing that anything that you wish you had, you have the ability to get it, and you can shapeshift your life at any moment to go in that direction. The Father card, some of you, there could be like a father thing here. Maybe the King of Earth being reversed is maybe we feel a lot of pressure from our father or from a father figure in our life. Maybe we felt a lot of pressure from them. And maybe it's like caused us to push ourselves in a certain direction in life. Or maybe we had a father that overworked or something like that. Or maybe we're trying to provide for something that we never had or never got to attain. And we're feeling all this pressure to do certain things. I feel like there's an energy from your future self coming through and saying, what do you really want? And how can you begin to shape your life according to what you want? You know, according to what you want, rather than following in anybody's footsteps, rather than carrying negative things that we've picked up from our family maybe along the way, different ideas about it's hard to make money, or we need to work super hard to get it, or we need to have a very particular career, maybe one that we don't even want, you know, whatever the case may be. What are these sort of things that we are not really wanting in our life that maybe we're doing out of a feeling of, I have to do this, like I have no other choice, I have no other option. I feel like this is a time where your future self is saying that it's time to shapeshift your life and shape it to something that you want, and let go. Don't be afraid to let go of things that you don't want, things that do not serve you. You can allow the apocalypse of your life. An apocalypse actually doesn't have to be a bad thing. A lot of times, the idea of an apocalypse is a bad thing, but sometimes the apocalypse indicates the death, I'm using that metaphorically, the death of things that no longer serve us. So what are the things that we don't want anymore? And we have to not be afraid to go on our own. We cannot fear rejection, or we cannot fear disappointing others if it means that we get to be free to live our own life, right? If we get to be free to live our own life, that is the best freaking thing that could happen to us. So we cannot fear the apocalypse. We cannot fear having to provide for ourselves and go our own way and make our own way, because there comes a time where we just have to step up into being our own individual, and calling the shots for ourselves and having that confidence to be like, you know what, I'm going to lead my own life. I'm going to lead my own life here. And I'm not fearing letting go of anything that I don't actually want or need. If you don't want it, why are we so scared of letting it go? The reason why we get scared to let things go that we don't want is because we fear what other people might think or say, or we fear disappointing other people. But the thing is, that comes at a cost of disappointing ourselves. And this is your life. This is your life, right? This is nobody else's life. Just because we disappoint them because we're not living up to the expectations of somebody else, who cares? Let them live their life. You know what? We're not putting a bunch of control on their life. Let them live theirs, and allow yourself to live yours, whatever that might look like. Okay? So this is time to be free. Allow yourself to be free, to move into that energy. And we're going to shuffle some more cards to add on to this reading. So let's go ahead and see what other cards we get for you. I'm feeling this one. We have Capricorn, I use. And Capricorn's very much about okay, what am I going to do? What mountain am I going to climb? What work am I going to put in? I feel like you are a bit of an overworker, and you might have pressure on yourself to be an overachiever. And I just ask the question, are you living the life you actually want to live, or are you living the life that you think you need to live? Because I feel like your higher self or your future self is coming through saying there's certain things that do need to be let go of, certain things that we need to say no to. Okay? Mars, force, this is time to take action. Mars is the action planet. And Mars is also a ruler of Aries, and it talks about a new beginning, a new leap, taking a new leap. So what is this new leap that you're being called to? Okay, group 2, what is this new leap that you're being called to? There could be something around work that might be shifting for you, or something along the lines of work where we need to maybe say no to certain things that's this isn't being very lucrative right now, or this isn't bringing me where I want to be. Okay, maybe we need to let go of certain things like that and move into what is more tangible for us. Not tangible is the wrong word. Move into what's more in alignment with us, what we feel great about. What are those things that you feel great about, that you want to embrace more of, So that is what we have here. My group number 2s, your future self. This is all about letting go of the things that no longer serve you, not fearing, going on your own and making your own path, and not fearing shifting your life. You can shift your life at any moment. You are not too late to shift your life ever, right? Ever. You can shift it at any moment in time. And there's stories of so many people with such major success that have shifted their life even when they're in their 50s, 60s, 70s, they all of a sudden go down a new path. So you're not behind. You are not too late. You can shift your life at any time and move towards anything that you really like and what you really love. And this is also about honoring what you love, what you find fun, and all of that jazz, and to alchemize your life into what's inspiring me and what can uplift me, right? So all of those things, and that is what we have for you, my group number 2s. I hope that made sense. I hope it resonated for you, and I am sending you so much love. That was your message from your future self. Thank you so much for joining me here. I am sending you so much love, and I will see you next time. Bye. All right, so my group number 3s, if you chose this pile with the shell, this is going to be your message from your future self, so let's hop right into it. All right, so group 3, we randomly had so many more cards come out for you than any other group, and it's just blowing my mind. So anyway, we have the Tower, the 8 of Air, the 8 of Earth, so double 8s here. We also have the Empress, so we have 2 major arcana cards, and then also the King of Fire. There is something right now in your life, this breaking free energy. Breaking free. A lot of people look at the Tower card and they're like, oh my God, something's falling apart, something's crumbling in my life. But sometimes like the falling apart of something can be what sets us free. And there is something that it seems like your future self is calling you to not fear something, the ending of something, not fearing the ending of something. You're ending a cycle in your life, a major cycle in your life, and it is going to set you free. Like, this is a time to spread your wings. You've been caged. Like, you've been this beautiful, like, angel bird in this tower. It's almost like keeping a bird in a cage. That's kind of the epitome of what your future self is sort of pointing at right now. And it's your future self is pointing at, you are in this epitome of your life of breaking free. So what has been holding you back? What has been holding you back from what you truly want and what you truly desire? There could be a fear of something. There could be a fear of being free. There could be a fear of stepping into the unknown. There could be a fear of stepping out of your comfort zone, because the Tower can also be our comfort zone. Maybe we've gotten so used to the cage. Maybe we've been so used to like having everything be the same. And we fear the crumbling of that. We fear the end of that, right? And we might fear like stepping outside of our cage, stepping into something new. But the possibilities that are about to come from this are so beautiful. So your future self is saying like, okay, you are feeling this energy right now where maybe you feel a calling to end something in your life. Maybe you feel a calling to break free or to expand yourself or to step into something new right now. I feel like you've been feeling those energies, and your future self is saying, yes, yes. Oh my gosh, yes, go in that direction. Because maybe you've been questioning it. Maybe you've been questioning like, should I just stay in my cage? Should I just stay in the way that things are right now? Or should I end this certain thing, end this cycle, break out of my cage, break into something new, step into, you know, something more expansive? And your future self is like, yes, 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 yes. Because as you break out of whatever this currently is, and as you step into newness, it's actually going to expand you and open you up to so much more possibility. However, there naturally is some anxiety that comes with that, because we're kind of stepping into the unknown a little bit, right? We're stepping into something new, and maybe we haven't done that in a long time, or maybe we've never gone down this road before and we're exploring something new. But your future self is saying that through that is going to be where you find so much more expansiveness, so much more abundance in your life. And you're going to be manifesting something. This is going to be where something begins to grow, where you begin to grow, actually, you and more of your dreams. There's been certain dreams that you have, but it requires breaking out of your current mold, breaking out of what's familiar to you, breaking out of current patterns and routines and cycles. And this is bringing you to the 8 of Earth, the Empress, and the King of Fire. This is bringing you to a place of confidence, a place of radiance where you're going to radiate your light. I'm really hearing that you have a calling. You've been having a calling, this inner sort of feeling that you're meant to expand into something more. I just got these butterflies in my stomach as I said that, like these really beautiful butterflies that wanted to like pick up my energy. And I feel like that's sort of symbolic of this card right now. There's this energy that wants you to take flight, that wants you to Call back your freedom, the freedom to be creative, the freedom to expand yourself, the freedom to explore new ideas, the freedom to explore outside of your current realm of what you know. Oh, I'm getting all of these good feelings from this group. Oh my goodness. Your future self is very excited for you because this is actually going to end up being a very pivotal moment in your life. Very pivotal. The Eight of Earth. You're being called to work on something. You're being called to build something. This could be building yourself, focusing on you, and not letting past distractions keep you stuck. Not letting past things keep you stuck. I see you working on something new. And eights are the number of infinite possibility, realizing that there's infinite possibility of you, not letting fear hold you back, not letting these thoughts keep you caged or stuck. This is time to grab hold of infinite possibility and realize you're on this phase of your life right now where there is so much potential for you to create something so brand new, and you should not fear it, okay? Like, you should not fear this. This is something that can build up really beautifully, and your future self is saying that it's literally going to build to something amazing and something beautiful where you get to harvest all the work that you've been putting in. Some of you actually, maybe you've been working on something in private, like maybe you've been developing an idea or developing a plan or working on a skill or something, and you've been doing it all in private. The Eight of Earth, it's time to actually begin taking action and moving forward, and it's gonna pay off. The Empress is the harvest, and it's also the birth of an idea. So revealing back the curtains and being like, okay, I'm actually gonna move forward on it now. I'm actually gonna jump into it. I'm actually going to do it. It's a card of commitment too, like with the Eight of Earth here. This is a commitment to this and to actually begin taking action. Your future self is giving you a message right now saying, you're ready. You are ready. You might not feel like you're ready because you've been safe in the tower and it feels safer there. It feels so much better to like develop an idea than actually take action on it, because once we start taking action, it's like, oh, there's no going back. I've dived in. This is all or nothing now. But one interesting thing that I heard lately is endlessly planning and endlessly thinking about something and endlessly preparing is a form of procrastination. Planning is not a bad thing. Preparing is not a bad thing. But there actually comes a time where we can use it as a form of procrastination, a form of like procrastinating on what we actually know that we want to do. You know, and there's been videos of mine where I'm like so into it, but I want to make sure that's like the best video ever. And so I'll endlessly plan it. And then it does come to a point where I'm like, I think I'm just procrastinating on it at this point because I want it to be so good. And it's like a perfectionist mentality. And some of you may have some of that perfectionist mentality. So you may constantly keep yourself and your ideas in this planning stage or in this preparation stage, and maybe you also keep yourself in this planning and preparation phase. But your future self right now is telling you, as you are watching this, you are ready. There is never going to be a moment where you are more ready than right now. And in fact, any more preparation and waiting and developing on this might actually just be a form of procrastination at this point, because maybe we've gotten comfortable with just planning and preparing. It's a comfort zone, right? But there comes a time where we need to take action. We need to continue moving forward, right? Your future self is saying, you are ready. We all start from somewhere, and you're starting right now. It is time, okay? And Empress is like birthing it to life. And King of Fire, this is a card that shows that our ideas can be so successful, and that you're actually already on the path of your ideas manifesting into something so successful. Look at this plane going by. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's so loud. I feel like that's a sign, just because it's so freaking loud. I'm gonna take it as a sign for you that it's time to take off and spread your wings. It is time to take off. Be loud. Don't be like quiet about it. Don't be like, you know, when we're kind of scared to like hop into a new phase and we're like kind of holding ourselves back and we're not fully sure. Imagine if you were like in the Olympics This is what Spirit is showing me right now. Imagine that you're in the Olympics and you're about to run like a marathon. But let's say you're second guessing yourself on the starting line and you're like, I don't know, do I give it my all or do I not? Do I give it my all or do I not? I don't know. And that second guessingness is going to end up holding you back, so that when you first start running, all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have overthought that, because now there was a resistance holding me back and I was meant to be running forward right now, and oh shoot. So just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, go all in, go, do it. Believe in yourself. Allow that belief to come up and take you where you're meant to go, because this is a card of radiance. This is a card of success. This is a card of success. This is a card of radiance, giving yourself the love that you need, feeling that fire and that passion. You're ready. You are ready to come out of that cage and into something more. So let's see what other cards we have for you. I'm getting so passionate about this reading right now, but I love it. I love it. So we have perspective and we have I'm sorry. Ooh, I want to start with this one. Let's start with this one right here. There's another plane going by. I'm going to wait till this one goes by. We don't need a second one here. Okay, it's basically gone. That was really loud again. Anyway, we have I'm sorry, defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. Some of you may be scared of moving forward in your life because you fear regret or you fear making a mistake. And maybe you've done things wrong in the past that you've like regretted before, but your future self is saying that anything that's meant to be will be. And you have to thank your past self. You know, instead of letting these past things make you feel insecure or doubtful of yourself, look at those past things and realize that those things taught you so much and they built you into who you are now, which is so much smarter, so much wiser, so much more conscious, so much more aware. So look at those past things and be so thankful for them. Be so thankful for them and allow yourself to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive other things that have happened in your life. They've all brought you to where you are now, which is so much more closer to your goal than you've ever been before, right? Because we only act out of a place of what we currently know. Therefore, anything that's actually truly meant for you and your energy will always be. Always. Because it'll be meant for exactly who you are. So if anything didn't work out in the past, that was meant to be exactly that way. You're now so much closer to your goal than you've ever been before. Don't be defensive of your future or anything like that. You're right where you need to be, okay? We also have perspective. This fits in so well. Look at this. Perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. So anything that's you're overthinking or questioning in your mind, and you might be like, oh, do I really do this? Or like all these different things. None of that matters. Zoom back out. Look at the bigger picture of life. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone does things that are like, whatever. What is your perspective of it? Look at it and realize that those things built you into who you are today. They guided your path to be right where you are right now, which is full of this infinite opportunity. We had double eights here, and the eights symbolize infinite opportunity. They also symbolize really good luck, by the way. And if you don't believe me, just search up the numerology of 8 and its spiritual meaning. It's infinite possibility, really good luck, especially in business, building foundations, and manifesting something that you really want. I'm feeling some of you are manifesting love in your life and going after love, and some of you are manifesting something along career or something like this. I see all of those things working out very beautifully for you. But it's time to uncage yourself, because how can you find love? How can you find the most amazing career? How can you create from a place of being stuck? You've outgrown this. You've outgrown your current situation, and it's time to expand into something so much more. And you've been feeling it, and your future self says that you're ready. And if your future self says that, there's no one else that knows any better than your future self. I can tell you that. So you are ready. It is time. We also have the card here of get wild. So it's time for you to speak your voice too. I feel like there's been things that you've been questioning, like, do I say this? Do I speak this? Do I really use my voice? Do I believe in myself enough? This is time for you to believe in yourself. This is time for you to, get on the top of your mountain, get on the top of, your world and be you. Speak your voice. Get wild. Go for what you want. Go for your biggest dreams. This is time. Okay? Do the unexpected, you know what I mean? And we also have shadow. So it's time to come out of hiding. It's time to come out of this coiled hidingness. And look we have 2 cards that are about spreading your wings, getting up off the ground, spreading your wings, and going higher. This is time for that. This is time to come out of hiding, coming out of the development stage, the forever development stage, okay? And we also have the revolutionary coming through. This marks a revolution of your life. This marks a revolution of your life. No longer being the same way, no longer being the same version of you. It is time to step out of that. And then we also have patience. Patience, my love. So I feel like this is a message from your future self saying that you don't have to let go of, protecting yourself, being safe. We can go at our own pace, but it's time to move forward. You don't have to rush out of the gates moving as fast as the speed of light, but you do need to come out of the cage and move in a pace that is healthy, move in a pace that's good, but it's time to break free. It's time to come out. It is time to come out. So, woo! In the next few cards we have, look at this one. By the way, guys, I do not handpick these cards when they come out. I shuffle the deck and there's fly out cards and I put them in the group and that's how I pick the cards. I don't just look at them and think oh, what fits in this group? No, never. The Destroyer and we have the Tower, okay? This is time to break out of your cage. Break out of your cage. It's time to be confident. Destroy anything that's been holding you back, these thoughts that have been holding you back, the things that have been holding you back. It is time to come out. I feel like it's time to end something. Your future self is saying that it's time to end something in your life, to create a revolution, to do something you've never done before and to commit to it. To commit to it. What is something that you need to end in your life? A cycle that you need to end. And maybe this is just about creating a new routine in your life by adding in, what you actually want. Or this could be the ending of something that's been holding you back. The ending of whatever it's been holding you back. This could be a way of thinking, someone in your life that's been holding you back, something here, but it needs to end. It needs to end so that you can be set free, so that you can have that free room. Whenever we get rid of something in our life, it's kind of like doing a home renovation. Let's say you want all new furniture in your house and you're looking for the perfect furniture. We can't hold on to what we currently have. Otherwise, we have no room for the new furniture. We can't be oh, but let me hold on to this couch until I get the new one and that I'm already good with it and then I'll feel okay letting go of that one. But what if it doesn't fit and there's no room for it? It's it's sort of similar to this is an example that I feel will make a lot of sense. But it might not be the perfect example for you, but it's an example nonetheless. When we know we need to let go of a past relationship because we know that it's ended and it's not that, it's not going anywhere. And so we know in our heart that we need to end it, but then part of ourselves is but I don't want to be lonely. So what if I just hang on to this until I find the right person? That's unfair to who you're currently with, and it's unfair to yourself, and it's unfair to the new person that you're trying to manifest. It's unfair to everyone, right? We need to learn to let go of the thing that's no longer serving us. We cannot be afraid to be alone. We cannot be afraid to be a little bit naked for a while, in order to be vulnerable and move towards what we actually want. That's the only fair way to do things. We can't expect to still be hanging on to something from the past while we wait for something new. It's not healthy. It's not right. So anyway, that's an example But again, this could be like pointing at any area of your life. This could be pointing at your career, needing to let something go in order to move forward. This could be pointing at anything. It could be pointing at a way of thinking, right? So anyway, that's that. The next card that we have is the healer. It's time for you to heal. The only way to heal a wound is to remove whatever's hurting it, right? Remove whatever's hurting it so that it can heal, so that you can begin to move forward and become stronger, and then that wound won't be there and it won't be apparent anymore. It's time for the healing. It's time for you to heal. Your future self is saying that you're on this healing journey, but it's time to remove whatever's been hurting you, whether that be your own thoughts, other things, insecurities. Believe in yourself, okay? Believe in yourself. Let's move forward and let's trust that we have the ability to create anything that we desire. We also have prayer and the tear. What are you needing to shed and let go of? The things that you've been praying for are on their way, but we need to make room for it, right? We need to make room for it. So what are the things that we need to get rid of? You know, the new furniture is on its way, right? The new furniture is on its way, but we need to get rid of whatever current furniture that is no longer serving us in order to make room for this new shipment. Otherwise, we cannot have room for it in our energy and in our life. What you are praying for is already on its way, but if you want it to fully enter, we have to get rid of what's currently standing in its way, what's currently taking up that energetic space. We need to make room for it. We need to heal that space. We need to kind of clean it up a little bit, make sure there's no dust left over and all that. And then we heal, we clean it up, and then that new shipment is like, I finally have time to arrive. And then bam, the thing that you've been praying for has room to fully come into your life, okay? So that is what we have there. Now we're going to get into any last cards that your future self wants to talk to you through. So Uranus, a genius. You are a genius. Uranus is connected to a lot of different things, and it's also connected to expect the unexpected. So there's something unexpected on its way, and I feel like it's something very positive. So I feel like there's an unexpected surprise that your future self is saying like, hey, keep an eye out for that, because there's an unexpected surprise on its way, and it deals with your destiny. It deals with something that you are meant for. I feel like your path is unexpectedly shifting and you've been feeling it, and it's time for you to spread your wings and go for it, to move towards that calling that you've been feeling. I do feel like there's going to be an unexpected surprise or gift coming through. And I feel like you're also going to be surprised because you actually know more than what you give yourself credit for. You're more prepared and ready than what you give yourself credit for. You're being called to your destiny right now. You're being called to what is meant for you. This is also, like yods are known as the finger of God. God is pointing you to a direction right now. Trust it. The prayer, also the fact that we have yod, which is the finger of God, and we also have the prayer card, shows that God is with you right now. God has been hearing everything that you've been wanting, everything that you've been desiring, and there is a message right now. Whether you believe in God or the universe, I'm using the word God right now because that's like the strongest energy that I feel like is coming through right now. God is coming through right now saying, all of those inspirations are part of my guidance to you. And I'm guiding you to your ultimate destiny, and you're creating that. God is coming through with a message that you have the power to create whatever it is that you want. And God is saying that yes, you're allowed to have that. You are allowed to have whatever you want. And I'm helping you, guide you in that direction. Trust it. Your prayers are being answered. God is saying, I'm here with you. I've been here with you. And feel me, I'm here with you, I'm here. You know, there's that energy of like, I got you, I'm here. Believe me, I'm here. And yeah, you're going through an amazing transformation in your life. And patience, it might be patience around, maybe you've been wanting something to happen in your life, but be patient. Be patient. It's time for you to come out of that shell and trust that it's on its way. But the only way you're going to see it is to come out of that shell and Trust in the divineness. There could be random things shifting in your life, by the way, very soon. Your future self has a message also about there could be random things shifting in your life, like unexpected shifts and changes that might be like, whoa, might catch you off guard a little bit. This is part of getting you to your destiny. Please trust it. This is part of your path and how it's going to be shifting to bring you to where you're meant to be. So trust it. It is bringing you to an amazing place in life, and that is what we have for you. Group number 3. That is what we have for you. That is the message from your future self. There's amazing things coming in. There's so much abundance coming your way. So much abundance and success. Whatever it is that you've been wanting in your life, I see success and abundance around that. You are moving towards that, but it's time to act on that calling, to come out of that shell, to let go of anything that's been holding you back and commit to destroying the old things that have been holding you back and fully committing to focusing on your new path. I love it. I'm even clapping right now because I'm like so happy of Spirit's message through this reading. Thank you so much for joining me here at group number 3. I hope it made sense. I hope it offered some guidance. That was your message from your future self, and I am sending you so much love. Thank you for joining me here today, and I will see you next time. Bye. Group number 4. If you chose this pile, this is going to be your message from your future self. So let's hop right into it. Group number 4. We have the Messenger of Earth, the Knight of Fire, Six of Earth, and then the Messenger of Water, all upright cards. First off, this Knight of Fire is really sticking out to me, the Nine of Wands. This is about creating boundaries in your life so that you feel safe and you feel on track with what it is that you want. I am hearing from your future self that it's time to let go of distractions and it's time to create more boundaries in your life. Maybe when it comes to other people, you're needing healthier boundaries. Boundaries are healthy. Putting up walls is not healthy, but putting up boundaries is a healthy thing, and actually enforcing those boundaries, living by those boundaries, living by those promises. I'm hearing that it's time to follow the promises that you make to yourself and ask yourself, what is it that you really want to follow? What is this new kind of structure that you want in your life? And it's time to follow that structure. I'm also seeing that there's some sort of inspiration for you, some sort of thing that's like, it's time to follow that and no longer have fears around that. Let's create structure so that we can focus fully on what it is that we really want, and so that we can go in that direction. Let's not fear like, oh, but what if this or what if that? Focus on what you want, because that'll allow you to take action in that direction. Sort of like when you're driving a car, like if you're looking straight ahead of you, you're going to be going straight ahead. But if you're distracted on like, oh, but what if, what's down this way or what's down that way, and you're turning your head while you're driving, what you don't notice is that you actually end up kind of turning the car in that direction. You might be like, oh shit, I'm going off my path. So whatever you focus on is the direction that you're putting your energy. So if we're focused on like, what if this goes wrong? Or what about this? Or what about that? Or if we're getting distracted through all of these different things, we're kind of not really putting our energy where we want it to go. We're not really feeding what it is that we desire. So your future self is saying that if you've been feeling the desire to put up better boundaries in your life, they're saying yes, yes, yes. Act on that feeling. That is absolutely what you should be doing right now. And I see you taking more control over your life. I see you that you're in this stage of ending distractions, taking more control over what it is that you want, and taking action. The Messenger of Earth and the Messenger of Water are about solidly dedicating and following your desires, your dreams. In this particular deck, the messengers are actually the knights, whereas in other decks, messengers can be pages, but in this particular deck, they are the knights. So the Knight of Earth, the Knight of Water. And this is a time of really fully taking action on what it is that you want in a dedicated way. And Six of Earth as well, I'm really hearing that this is about letting go of people pleasing, letting go of accepting only a little bit from others. Like, this is a time of finding out what is actually fair. What is fair in my life? What do I really, really deserve? And you deserve equality. You deserve fairness. You don't deserve like someone giving you little breadcrumbs if you're like giving them the whole world, right? And nor do you deserve somebody to walk all over you or following, what somebody tells you that you need to do or anything like that. I'm seeing that you are going through this time of breaking free and also of getting up and trying again. There's this energy about getting up and trying again and focusing on what it is that you really want and going in that direction with your all. There could be something also that you need to speak about and something that you need to say, something that's been ruminating on your mind or something that you need to get off your chest, because sometimes the nights can also indicate taking action towards talking, taking action towards speaking about something and standing your ground. I'm feeling this energy of standing your ground and pulling upon your strength about what it is that you deserve and wanting a fair and equal outcome. There's something here about going after a fair and equal outcome and really standing your ground about it and knowing that, hey, I know that I'm in the right to speak about what is fair for me, what is good about this situation, and maybe, talking about, the type of outcome that is fair. What's fair here? And what do you want to get off your chest? What is something that you need to speak about, something that you need to say? And this is going to get you to so much of a better place. Like, I feel like it's time for you to really own your power. And your future self is talking about this moment of your life is about owning your power, owning who you are, and really standing up. Like, standing up. Not being afraid of like what other people might say or what they might think, and not letting somebody else have control over you. That's a huge thing that's also coming through. Not letting someone else have control over you and, being your own sovereign individual, no longer letting people walk all over you. I feel like you've been hurt in the past. Like, when the Nine of Fire comes up, it can indicate that we've been hurt in the past and there's been somebody who's maybe like not really been the greatest to us. And maybe we've just been letting that happen. But now's the time where it's like, no, I don't accept that anymore. Like, I'm being called to step up here. I'm being called to get my power back and to put up boundaries, like clear boundaries of what's okay and what's not. And if somebody disrespects that, guess what? They're not welcome within the boundaries anymore. They're not welcome within that. Because if they can't respect those boundaries, then you have to sit outside of them. That's it. Like, you can't, just come within the boundaries and do whatever you please and whatever you want. So there comes a time where we have to stand up to that. And I feel like your future self is saying that, yes, this is going to be such a beautiful thing, because this is going to bring you to a place of so much more power within yourself. And it's going to bring you a place of getting what you deserve. It's going to bring you to that. And it's going to help you achieve what you really desire. But you cannot be afraid of like disappointing others. And you can't be afraid of what the outcome is from that. Sometimes I feel like people have a problem with setting boundaries and speaking their mind because they're scared that they're going to no longer see someone again, or that, they're going to make someone mad. But the thing is like, if someone's disrespecting us, why do we keep allowing them in anyway? Why would we want them there if they keep causing chaos and destruction, So setting boundaries and not fearing what that outcome is. And honoring yourself. This is really about honoring yourself, okay? We also have the next card, the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. Ooh, activation and integration time. You are activating your inner power right now. So deeply. You are activating your soul, letting your light shine and not letting anyone outshine that. Not letting anyone tell you who you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do, not letting people walk all over you. This is about you awakening you. Awakening you. I see you like, stepping into that power, and it's a beautiful thing. We also have the 7-star sister, birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression. What do we need to express? For some of you, this could deal with siblings. Others of you, this could deal with a romantic partner or a family member or a friend. How are these people meant to treat you, right? What's healthy? What do we need to strive towards? Okay? People are meant to uplift us, not tear us down. We also fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. I feel like you're such a caring person, group 4. You are so caring that you don't want to walk on other people's toes. But in the process, are you allowing people to walk all over your toes? Right? This is time of owning back your power, going for what's right, integrating these lessons. And I feel like this is going to really help you achieve so much more in your future. I see you achieving so much more. And I also see you attracting people in your life that treat you really well. How much do you give versus receive? There needs to be a balance there, right? There needs to be a balance there. Let's see what else we have. We have the weaver, becoming the weaver of your own destiny, and also look at cutting ties with things that no longer serve you. Sometimes we need to cut ties with things that are not healthy, that are not good. And I see your future self coming through saying like, yes, this is a good thing. This is a positive thing. This is part of your growth, part of your development. We also, I can't make this up. Look at the card that came out too. Speak truth. Speak truth. Your future self says it is time. Speak your mind. Speak your truth. It is time to come out of hiding and fully speak what is it that is on your mind. Okay, let's see. What are our next cards? Also, I'm going to be right back. I have to go to the bathroom really quick. All right, so I am back from the bathroom. Let's talk about what you have. I almost pulled out the wrong deck of cards. That was for a different group. Anyway, this is for your group. So the 2 cards that we have is the womb and the comic. I'm seeing like taking things in a nurturing, lighthearted way and like looking at things in your life. I feel like Spirit's coming through saying to feel great about your life, to feel great about it, and to also like nurture yourself, nurture who you are, begin to give yourself the love that you deserve. I feel like some of you, if you've been lacking boundaries in your life, it may come through a feeling like that you deserve to be treated the way that you've been treated for whatever reason. Like maybe we've just been treated that way in the past, or maybe we've been told that we deserve that, or maybe we've been gaslighted a lot. But Spirit's coming through saying like, it's time to nurture yourself. Like, give yourself the love that you deserve. You deserve so much love. Seriously. And also, it's about protecting your womb. So whether you have a womb or not, that part is irrelevant. But protecting that nurturing center of yourself, protecting that. You know, not just giving that up to anybody, not just giving your nurturing, caring self to anybody who doesn't deserve it, giving that to only people who deserve it, and putting up boundaries and protecting you. I'm also just hearing a random message from your future self also about just having more fun with your life, celebrating, not feeling like you're not allowed to celebrate for whatever reason. Like you might feel sometimes like, oh, I'm meant to feel sad about this, or I'm meant to, you know, go through this hard time. Spirit wants you to just have more fun with life. Your life is meant to be fun. Your life is meant to be happy. But we need to sometimes put up boundaries to things that are dragging us down, that are making us feel negative. And sometimes we need to put up boundaries there and be like, no, like, I don't want that energy in my life anymore. I don't want that, right? I don't need that. So let's just have more fun. Let's celebrate more things in life. Let's have time to like laugh. Like, what are the things that bring you joy? How do we bring in more of that? How do we nurture the joy? How do we nurture the laughter? And allowing your laugh to be more free. Like, when was the last time you laughed, group number 4? When was the last time you genuinely like laughed your butt off? Because your future self is saying like, hey, it's time to start doing that again. It's time to come back to that and to invite more of those experiences in, and to set the intention that we're gonna start setting boundaries for the things that are dragging us down so that we can go in the direction of having more fun, welcoming in more fun and exciting things into life, because that is what you genuinely deserve. So let's go ahead and take out some more cards here and see what else we have. We have the first house, the body. So respecting more of your body is coming up for whatever reason. How can we respect more of our body? In what way have we been mistreating ourselves? And in what way have we allowed others to maybe mistreat ourselves? And how can we have more respect for our body, for ourselves? We also have the fourth house of our roots. So knowing more of who you are, respecting who you are. I also feel like this is a self-discovery for a lot of you. I think a lot of you are going through this time of really discovering who you are and what it is that you truly want. What do you want to root yourself to? Do you want to be rooted to something that is not giving you nurturing results? It's not giving you what you need? It's time to cut those things out of your life so that you can root to things that are healthy, uplifting, full of joy in your life. What is your foundation that you're growing upon? I'm also seeing a potential move for some of you. The fourth house with roots, and the fact that we also had, what was the other card that's making me think about a move right now? The Nine of Wands with the boundaries, because it's kind of like the walls that we're surrounded by. Some of you might even be thinking about moving. You might be thinking about your own independence. Independence is also first house kind of stuff. So you could be thinking about your own independence. Healing something with your mother could be something coming up. The fact that we have the womb coming up. So maybe we need some healing with our mother in some way, or healing our relationship with ourselves, or sisterhood, healing with that. I am oddly seeing a move though. I think your future self is also saying that there's a move on the horizon for you to garner more independence, and to also build a new foundation for yourself that you can grow upon. And that move is going to be really nice because it's going to allow you to kind of like shift your path to create better boundaries in your life, to create more fairness. But definitely about speaking your truth. Your future self is saying like, yes, if you've been having a desire to like speak your truth, this is it. Like, let's do it. Let's do it. And I also feel like taking out one last card deck for you to get any last messages here. For some reason, a spirit wants another card deck. So let's get one more card and let's see. All right, a couple more cards. Oh, we have safe home. So I'm again feeling a move for you again because home's coming up. There could also be certain things where you need to stand your ground at home. Maybe you're needing to stand your ground at home for whatever reason. Sometimes parents feel like they can walk all over us, right? In some cases, some instances, and sometimes they don't allow us to grow up really. Which I totally understand, like, the perspective of the parent too, but at the same time, like, I'm really feeling like this is your calling to maybe garner more independence or to solve some issues around the home life, to also get the distance that you need, and to protect your energy, to protect your own sanity and your vitality, putting up proper boundaries, to tap into your energy, to focus on what feels good and how can I bring back balance to my home life. Maybe it's just about taking some distance, taking some time away or something, and then coming back and being like, all right, let's work on creating a proper foundation here with good boundaries, healthy things. Let's do that. So that is something I'm also seeing for you as a message from your future self. I'm also seeing your home life just definitely getting better, by the way. So if there has been any sort of issues around that or issues with your family in some type of way, I am seeing that healing 100%. I feel like your future self is saying like, yes, it's all good in the future. So trust the process of what you're going through right now because all is good in the future. I'm seeing that things are going to even out and get good, and the energy is going to be very positive there. And I do see healing around that. And I also see healing around yourself, your individuality, being able to break free into your own person, right? And not be feeling held back by that or feeling like you're held back by expectations of others. I see you breaking more free into your own independence in that way too. So that is what we have there, my beautiful group number 4s. That was the message from your future self. I hope it made sense. I hope it resonated for you, and I am sending you so much love, and I will see you next time, my beautiful souls. Bye.